In this video, I'll show you all the steps that is regarding Elementor, everything you need to know from the basics to the advanced. Why so many companies and agencies are using Elementor and why it's such a popular plugin when you're building a website in WordPress. I'll also show the good and the bad sides. My name is Kai and I'm a full-time web agency owner where we develop everything in Elementor. And I'll just show you how we can do this really quick and things we actually use active in our company that you can use as well. So one of the good things regarding Elementor is that it's a page builder that you can drag and drop everything. So we just click on edit with Elementor on one of the front pages. So this is one of our developer sites. So just make this one full screen. We can see that when we just hover the mouse around everything we made here, we can see that it's actually an opportunity we have. We can click on different sections and so on. And we also have a navigator up to the right. Sometimes there's a bug where it just keeps on loading to the left. That might also be if you have some different plugins that does not really talk well with the Elementor you already have. Always remember to keep it updated, but also see that some of the updates might have some issues. So I actually rarely run the newest update. We often test that on different websites, developer website first. So we can just see here that we can drag and drop everything. That is why Elementor is smart. So I can just take, for example, this text and I can basically right click copy, and then I can add it maybe down here if I want to. And then you can see I actually get the text here, but it's white. So I can go in style and I can just change it and we can see you actually got the same text there. Then I can right click and delete. So it's very easy. If I just go to the navigation, we can see the navigation, everything regarding what we called the different sections. So we can just go in here and open the hero and see we have some images, we have some H1, H2 text, and then we have the two buttons under container here. I can also check that responsive, so we can click on responsive mode, go with the PC, tablet, and mobile. I rarely use anything else than these three, and then we use just everything inside of a box. So what that means is we have the one called boxed, and normally we use 1440 as default. So we go in the backend and change that as well. But basically you can just copy everything. For example, a section, we can just copy a section, move it down, and then insert it here if you want to. You can also make a new section pretty quick regarding, I'll just, let me see here, we'll just go out of this one and we'll go in the backend and actually create a new page. So if we go into pages, we click on add new page. We can also duplicate one, but we'll just call it one sample or simple sample. And then we'll click publish. In this case, we'll just publish it. Here we have the permalink. So remember that is what people can search on in the URL. And then we have the bread and butter inside of this page. What we can see here is we have the footer, of course, and we have the header. So there's two levels. There's a header and a footer that is dynamic. You get those on every single page. So remember that those are some global things you need to create first. Normally I'll start out with creating the menu and then I create the footer because those goes on every single site. When I'm creating a new page, I usually always start with a header and I rarely use any of the default things. So you can click on the map and you can go with blocks and you can actually find some pre-built stuff Elementor already have. You can also import an entire page if you want to. So that is just some of the things. You can also save one of the, let's say we want to save the hero section here. I'll just open this one up in a different tab. And then I can show you guys that I can go into hero in the navigation. I can also just find it. For example, I can click here on the 6 dots and right click, and then I can click on the one called, let me see here, save as template. In this case, we'll use the hero and click on save as template, and we'll call this hero test, and then we can save it. Here it comes in, if you just search hero, we have it here. I can also insert it on the screen or inside of this page, but I can also export it. So I can export it and move it to a different website. So that's pretty smart. So if I just go into the new page, if I want to add it here, I can do two things. I could either right click copy and add it here. And now I got everything on the different page. So that is what makes this pretty easy. I can also click on the map and I can go to my templates. And then I should be able to find the one called hero. Let me see here. I think we need to update it. I'll just click update and then we need to refresh to see if it's actually uploaded. Then we will click on this one again, and we should have one called Hero Test. I think that one was there before as well, but we just click on this one and we see that it actually comes to life. So now I can just go in and I can edit everything, just type some new text if I want to do that. I can make sure the buttons links the right things. I can go inside of the different items that I can drag and drop, and then I can make a section with all the stylings I pretty much want. So this just becomes so easy, so fast and quick to build a website. And when you're looking into building websites, at least for customers, you need to make the process of you building and developing the website so fast and quick if you actually want to make something out of the space. But also, there's no reason to use a lot of time by doing something very simple. So rather use your time of the more advanced stuff. What I mean by doing that is if you go into the settings, normally we put up some global settings right away. Those you can do by clicking on Elementor, and then we can click on site settings. These are the first things you need to have when you actually start a new site. So here we have some global colors we can pick. This is just the ones we chose, but normally you will just put the color pattern on whatever you're trying to develop. So when we see a new client and we have a theme that we want to follow, some guidelines of the colors, we'll just add them in here so we can reuse those as global fonts. Then we change the font, or we change, global colors, but we can go in and change the colors as well, and then it changes on a global level. So that's pretty smart. Then we go back, we can go to global fonts. I never use these ones. I have a lot of issues with those, but we'll just create them for new. So I just make some custom fonts, and then we have H1, H2, H3. It's very rare I go below H3, but in this case, we have it very simple. So we have a button and a text. And then we can just see that here we have enter, we have 16 pixels and 400 in width. Then we can also go inside of responsive and make sure that this one also follows. So you can get a preview here of what is going on. So I can use these fonts on the entire site and make sure that this actually works on all the pages. So I don't have to redesign all the fonts. I can just use the global settings we already have picked. Then we can go into the one that is one of our default things, the layout. I'll normally change the layout to 1440. The gap is default 20. That works fine for us. And breakpoints, you can add some new. We never do anything here. Sometimes you can do something if you have too much in your menu and you want the menu to be on tablet faster. So that could be an option, but rarely we don't really touch that one. Then we have the site identity, that is the logo. So you can just pick the site name, and then there's the site description and the site logo and fab icon. So those you add here. So basically we can just close those. Next step, what I would recommend you to do when you start the site out is you have to create a template for the hero, for the menu, and a template for the footer. And we have those two if you just click on all here. So we have some different things created already. But basically how you create a menu is you can go to add new template. You can click on select, and then we'll just pick the one called header or footer. So we'll need both. I'll just call this one header for video in this case. And then you can just use the default header. Elementor will actually come with some default header that you can just copy paste and use. Normally I don't like to use those, but basically you can just go in here, create your header, what you want to do, add the menu and so on, and design it just like you want it. So it's pretty easy. You can also copy paste it if you don't want to run through that trouble. When you're finished, you can click on publish, and then you can pick entire site. Right now we already have one menu, so that's why we can't have two, but basically you can't go in here and then you will pick in the global things. You can also pick which site should not be on. So I can click on add condition, and let's say we did not have this menu already, so then this orange bar will be gone. Then I will exclude it on some different sites. For example, we will just pick the one like front page. Don't show the menu on the front page. So we can do different things in here. But basically you can click publish and then that stuff just works. It works the same way when you're designing your footer. What I also would recommend, if you go into your appearance and themes, make sure that you are using the hello theme, because it's very simple. There's nothing in it. You can go in and remove a lot of stuff. So if you just go to customize, then this can save you so much time. Oh wait, sorry, you have to go back real quick. Click on this one and then we'll go to theme settings. I like to disable all of these, and this one is only one that is on. Else I have disabled everything. So this will just save you a lot of headache, a lot of things that you don't really need to think about. I would recommend you to do this if you want a bit faster page speed as well. Next step would be the plugins. If you go into the one called Admin and Site Enhancer. This is a plugin I will recommend every website to have. So you can basically just say that you can duplicate content on your site. So normally you have a plugin for that. This plugin is multiple plugins inside of one. So please add this plugin if you really want to be more efficient and you don't want to overload your website with too many plugins. And then you can also pick one with content order. So you can pick which order things are in. Then you of course will upload SVG. And you have different opportunities here as well. You can disable Gutenberg and then you can disable comments because you don't like spam comments. You can disable some feeds, all sort of things. Let us see here. You can also go in and disable XML RPC. So there's some security as well, and you can make a temporary password if it's a developer site. So then you can click save and it's all good. So this plugin is very useful. One thing you need to think about when it comes to if you want to go with the Elementor Pro version or the free version. So if you just go into Elementor's website, we can see that there are some different prices. So we have the hosting and then we have the page as well. So what I need you to know is, for example, I have the one with, let me see here. Here we'll open this one up. This one are only the plugins. So I have the one with 1,000 license. So I recommend you not go with the hosting right away because the hosting have some issues. And that is you pay for the visit, you don't pay for the server. So normally I would try to find a server host that does not have you pay for each session used, but instead have you pay for just the server you actually buy, like the RAM, the CPU and so on. You pay for that monthly instead of how much volume of customers or users visit your website every month. All right. But else you only need to have the Pro version here. What I can say regarding the Pro version is if you don't have the Pro version, you can't really do much. It's very basic, and I would highly recommend you just buy the Pro version and see how it works out for you, because you can unlock so many things. There's so much dynamic content you can use, and also a lot more of the pretty stuff regarding some design features, some widgets you can use, some contact forms that looks better, and you can use those and send emails as well. So that's pretty neat. And if you want a faster site, you can use plugins like Lightspeed, you can use VP Rocket, also just Fast Cache. So there's all sort of things. But if you go into the backend as well, you can basically go into Elementor and then we can go into settings, and I'll show you which settings I'm using. So if you go into performance, I have this one enabled, lazy load, and then I disable the Gutenberg, of course, and lazy load background images is on. Then you can go to advanced and you can just copy the settings I have right here. Also the features. You can also just copy all the features. I would recommend you have enabled Elementor caching. And then we have the containers, of course. And then we have header and footer also. I don't really use this one, so I'm not quite sure. But else I would recommend you have these one enabled for you as well. So if you want to know more about which things you can do with Elementor, you can follow the channel. We'll basically run through how we develop websites all the way from the basic stuff to the more advanced stuff. So on this channel, you will also get access to our Performance Hub channel where you can join a free community on Discord, and you can just sit with other agency owners and talk about which things you can create. I will join in there myself and show you guys some Elementor tricks and have some Q&As once in a while. I will also create a series where we build an entire website and you guys can come with recommendations as well. So please let me know and leave a comment below if you want me to go a specific route with the content, and if you want me to create a website in a specific niche you're looking for. So all right, see you guys later.